Hey everybody, in this video I am going to show you the best warm-up that you can do before you shoot your bow, only using a band, no matter what type of archer you are. This warm-up is going to contain 4 different exercises with just a band. The first exercise that you are going to perform will be the banded dislocate. I like about 20 reps for this movement, and that is going to be a consistent theme through a lot of these exercises. For this first exercise, the banded dislocate, you're going to grab your band at approximately shoulder width, and then you're going to pull that band apart and you're going to start at your stomach with your palms forward. From here, you're going to take that band up and over your head, and then you're going to take it down to your lower back and then return forward. And you're going to repeat approximately 20 reps. That is subject to change based on what you feel, but you're going to smoothly continue to perform those reps. Now, one thing to notice here is that my palms start about facing forward, and then as I raise up overhead, palms are going to start facing down, and then once they get behind you, they can even face a little bit behind you there. And then as you come up overhead, you reverse that, so palms are facing down, and then palms face forward as you perform your reps. The second exercise of this warm-up is going to be a banded face pull. Now, this exercise can be done 2 different ways. If you have something to hook your band to where you're shooting, such as the range, your backyard, your basement, whatever it might be, you're going to hook that band at approximately head height. Arms start straight, and you need tension on the band to start. From here, you're going to lead the pull with your shoulder blades, squeeze your shoulder blades together as you pull that band to your face. My shoulder blades are squeezed back down into my back pockets and together, engaging the back musculature, and then return. Again, shoulder blades squeeze together. I pull towards my face, squeeze the shoulder blades together like I'm pinching a pencil, and then I return. There's almost a little bit of incline to the forearm you can see there, so I'm not parallel with the ground with my forearm. I should have an incline there as I squeeze together, perform that face pull. Just like the banded dislocate, approximately 20 reps is a good number, but you can go a few more reps or a few less reps. Now, some people say, hey, I don't have a place to hook my band where I shoot. No problem. As long as you're careful, you can use a little bit of a different method. You can sit down on the ground. You can hook the bands around your feet as your anchor. Choke up on that band so you can start with straight arms, and then again perform that face pull. Now be careful. If you pull your toes back towards you, yes, the band will come off your feet and it will hit you right in the face. So pay attention to keep your feet pointed a little bit, or at least in a place where the band isn't going to slide off, and you can perform that same exact face pull. The third exercise of this warm-up is going to require you to grab your band by the ends, step on the middle of the band, and then you'll likely have to choke up a little bit to get a little bit more resistance. This is called a banded lateral circle, because what you're going to do is, for 1 rep, raise out to the side, bring it forward, and then lower in front of you, and then return out to the side. As you raise, come to the front of your body, lower in front of your body, back out to the side. And it almost starts to be a little bit like a breaststroke movement. And what we're doing here is we're hitting the entire shoulder joint, the different deltoid muscle groups, different parts of the rotator cuff as we go through this range of motion with this movement. Again, you're looking at approximately 20 reps or so. You can increase that or decrease that based on your needs. The one other thing that you can change is, as you saw there, I was doing that with my palm facing down. For some people, it's going to be more comfortable with your palm, or rather your thumb facing up. So your thumb facing up is another option. Depending on what you feel for your shoulders, you want to find the grip or the position that feels best for you. The fourth and final movement of this warm-up is going to be a banded draw, because there's few things that warm you up better than the exact movement pattern that you're going to be performing when you're shooting. So we're using this banded draw as a nice stepping stone to shooting your poundage and your bow once you're ready. So this is going to be very specific and should be very specific to your style of archery. So think about your positions, think about your movements, the way you draw, your anchor point. You want to keep everything as similar as possible. The way that you find the appropriate tension is by adjusting how much tension or how much length of band you're using here. You want to be at approximately 50% of what your draw weight normally feels like. So following everything that you normally would with your draw, I like to reset between every rep. As I go through my draw, find that anchor point, and then reset. Instead of 20 reps like we did for the other exercises, normally about 10 reps here is going to be sufficient. This warm-up is a great warm-up for the majority of archers. I'm confident in putting this warm-up out there because I've used this for a lot of different archers in the general population. It's important to understand that there are certainly times where an individual might need a more in-depth warm-up, or they might need a warm-up that's more specific to them, or they may need to utilize different tools. Understand that this is not necessarily an end-all be-all for all archers everywhere, but I'm confident again that this will fit the needs of most people in archery, no matter what style of archery you shoot. I also want to note, because I think it's important to understand for the warm-up, that there's a couple of different things that we're trying to achieve here. Number one, we want to move tissues, such as muscles, tendons, and ligaments, through a range of motion. And we also want to move those joints through a range of motion as well, as you saw the different movements that we performed to get those pieces of your body active and warming. A lot of times warm-ups overemphasize stretching, where we don't want to just passively crank on tissues and lengthen muscles, because it doesn't really prepare us specifically for the task that we're going to need to do when we shoot. That takes me to my second purpose of this warm-up, and that is to introduce loading to the archer, meaning that the archer is going to be under a significant amount of repetitive load and stress when they shoot. So we want to perform a warm-up that bridges that gap and that leads them and prepares them to that ultimate loading of shooting their bow. Just stretching alone will not do that. So that's why you see movements in this warm-up that don't look a whole lot like stretching, but they still allow and provide you the benefits of getting muscles to lengthen, open up, stretch, yet we're doing it in a way that is active and preparing your tissues and joints for that load that we see when shooting a bow. I hope that you find this valuable. If you did, make sure you hit the like button below. That's always helpful for me. If you want more information related to the physical nature of archery and how we can train the physical nature of archery to better help you as an archer, hit the subscribe button below. We also offer a lot more training options on archerystrong.com that you can check out, and even reach out to me if I can be of any help to you. Thank you.